How wolves are secretly killing Yellowstone's aspen forests. Imagine a world where the delicate balance of nature is restored and the consequences of human interference are reversed. This is exactly what's happening in Yellowstone National Park, where the return of wolves has sparked a remarkable recovery of the aspen forests. After decades of controversy and debate, the reintroduction of wolves to the park in 1995 has yielded astonishing results, with a new generation of aspen trees emerging to reclaim the skyline. But here's where it gets fascinating. The connection between wolves and aspen trees wasn't always obvious, and it took scientists years to understand the critical link between these two species. When wolves were eradicated from the park in the 1920s, the elk population swelled, and their love for saplings led to overgrazing. The aspen trees, which rely on the wolves to keep the elk in check, began to disappear, and with them, the species that depend on these trees, like beavers and cavity-nesting birds. The ecosystem was falling apart, and it seemed like a lost cause. However, the reintroduction of wolves has changed everything. By controlling the elk population, the wolves have indirectly protected the young aspen trees, allowing them to grow and thrive. And this is the part most people miss. The recovery of the aspen forests is not just a local phenomenon, but a testament to the importance of top predators in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. As Oregon State University ecologist Luke Painter notes, the reintroduction of large carnivores has initiated a recovery process that had been shut down for decades. The numbers are staggering. Among the 87 aspen stands examined, 43% contained new, small trees that had surpassed the diameter cutoff, and the density of saplings over 2 meters tall has increased 152-fold since 1998. But what's even more remarkable is that this recovery is part of a top-down trophic cascade, where the presence of wolves has a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem. This, Painter says, is a sure sign that the tree's recovery is due to the return of wolves and not other factors like climate. So, what can we learn from this remarkable story? For starters, it highlights the importance of preserving and restoring predators in their natural habitats. It also raises questions about the role of humans in shaping the ecosystem. Should we intervene to protect certain species, or do we let nature take its course? And this is where it gets controversial. Some might argue that the reintroduction of wolves is a form of interference, while others see it as a necessary step to restore balance to the ecosystem. As we ponder these questions, we're left with a sense of wonder and awe at the complexity and beauty of nature. The recovery of Yellowstone's aspen forests is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things and the importance of preserving the delicate balance of our ecosystem. So, we ask you, what do you think about the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone National Park? Do you think it's a success story or an example of human interference gone wrong? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's continue the conversation. Wolves help aspen trees thrive in Yellowstone. The return of wolves to Yellowstone have sparked a remarkable revival of aspen trees, a phenomenon unseen for 8 decades. This story is a testament to the intricate balance of nature and the profound impact of reintroducing top predators to an ecosystem. By the 1930s, gray wolves had vanished from Yellowstone National Park due to habitat loss, human hunting, and government eradication programs. In their absence, elk populations thrived, reaching an estimated 18,000 at their peak. These elk grazed on grasses, shrubs, and even the leaves, twigs, and bark of trees like quaking aspen, preventing young saplings from establishing themselves. Surveys in the 1990s revealed a dire situation. No aspen saplings were found. You had older trees and then nothing underneath, explained Luke Painter, an ecologist at Oregon State University and lead author of a recent study. But the tide began to turn in 1995 when wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone. As their numbers grew, the elk population in the park plummeted, dropping to around 2,000. In a new study published in the journal Forest Ecology and Management, Painter and his colleagues surveyed aspen stands across the park. They returned to 3 areas surveyed in 2012 to assess. These trees are now mature enough to spread through new shoots from their roots or via seed production. While Yellowstone's quaking aspen are on the path to recovery, they still face challenges. Although elk populations have declined, bison numbers have increased in some areas in recent years. Bison are more challenging prey for wolves, and their increasing presence may pose a new threat to aspen in certain regions. Painter emphasized that the variation in aspen recovery is a direct result of reintroducing a large predator to the top of the food chain, rather than a change in the overall climate. The reemergence of aspen has far-reaching effects on the ecosystem. Aspen are a key species for biodiversity, Painter explained. Their canopy is more open than conifers, allowing filtering light to create a habitat that supports a diverse range of plants. This in turn benefits berry-producing shrubs, insects, birds, and even beavers, as aspen, willows, and cottonwoods are preferred food and building materials for these semi-aquatic rodents. There are also indications that the number of bears and cougars in the region has increased since the reintroduction of wolves, although the reasons for this are not yet clear. Dominic Spracklin, a professor of biosphere-atmosphere interactions at the University of Leeds, UK, who has studied the potential impacts of reintroducing wolves in Scotland, commented on the study's findings. The paper shows the important ecological benefits occurring from the restoration of wolves to Yellowstone National Park. Ecosystems that lack large carnivores are often increasingly out of balance, while reintroducing carnivores raises important challenges around human-wildlife coexistence. This work underscores the significant ecological benefits such restoration efforts can bring. This story is a powerful reminder of the delicate dance of nature and the profound impact that even a single species can have on an entire ecosystem. Wolves in Yellowstone revive aspen trees after 80 years, Trophic Cascade explained. Imagine witnessing a quiet but powerful revival happening right in Yellowstone National Park. A resurgence that might reshape our understanding of ecological balance. That's exactly what recent research hints at. Reintroduced wolves are quietly enabling baby aspen trees to flourish once again in northern Yellowstone. Something scientists haven't observed in nearly a century. But here's where it gets controversial. Not all experts agree that this boost in aspen growth directly proves a full-blown ecological recovery, sparking lively debates among ecologists. For decades, these magnificent trees in Yellowstone faced severe decline, their young shoots endlessly consumed by the park's overpopulated elk herds. Back in the 1930s, wolves, the natural predators of elk, had been driven out by hunting, habitat loss, and aggressive eradication programs, leading to a cascade of ecological imbalance. The elk population exploded, reaching around 17,000 by 1995, and these voracious grazers decimated the aspen saplings, leaving the park devoid of young trees. Ecologists tried to find even a single young aspen to study, but their surveys in the 1990s came up empty. Then, in a bold move in 1995, biologists successfully reintroduced gray wolves into Yellowstone. These predators, once the park's keystone species, quickly made impacts by culling the elk herd, which dropped to approximately 2,000 wintering animals. This decline in elk numbers allowed newly sprouted aspen shoots to escape the jaws of herbivores, starting a slow but promising recovery. Fast forward to recent years, and the data is showing some reassuring signs. By 2020 and 2021, nearly half of the surveyed aspen stands contained young trees with trunks at least 2 inches thick, something unseen since decades before. Furthermore, the study reports a striking over 152-fold increase in the density of young aspen saplings between 1998 and 2021. According to researcher Luke Painter, these new trees are not just sprouting. They're growing resilient and potentially establishing a lasting presence. This growth might eventually benefit other species too, cavity-nesting birds like woodpeckers and tree swallows. Beavers that feed on bark and branches and use large sections for dams all stand to gain from the expanding aspen population. All of this is taken as evidence of a trophic cascade, a phenomenon where changes at the top of the food chain ripple downward, influencing the entire ecosystem. Painter describes it as a remarkable case of ecological restoration, where predator reintroduction sparks long-term habitat diversity and biodiversity benefits. But here's where things get thorny. Some scientists remain skeptical, arguing that the ecosystem's revival is not solely due to wolves. A 2024 study suggests that Yellowstone's landscape is still adjusting from the prior loss of wolves, with factors like human activity and other predators such as grizzly bears also influencing elk numbers. Interestingly, while elk decline, bison populations have surged, adding another layer of complexity to the park's ecological web. Ecologists like Tom Hobbs bring a cautionary perspective, noting that ecosystems are complex and that changes caused by top predators can take many years to stabilize or fully manifest. He emphasizes that current observations do not yet confirm dramatic ecosystem recovery, highlighting the importance of patience and ongoing monitoring. So, the big question stands. In Yellowstone, are wolves truly restoring balance, or is this just the beginning of a much longer story? Do you believe such predator reintroductions create lasting ecological shifts? Or do other factors like climate change, human intervention, and additional predator interactions paint a more complicated picture? Drop your thoughts below. This debate is far from settled, and it's a fascinating conversation to join.